Hello, greetings. You're on to Austin, and I'm coming to you live from the broadcasting department of the Kringle Private Society. And I'm one of the many broadcasters within our Kringle Society. Today, the title of my broadcast will be You Can Bank on Us, the Kringle Community. Now, what does it mean to bank on someone? It means you can trust us. That's what it means. And I'm going to share a video with us. Today, my broadcast will be straight to the point. Now, we are aware that the entire system is caving in, and it's not just going to cave in. Another system will come in and then replace this system. Now, that's what the elite wants to do, and we are also building our own system, and our system is to save humanity. Now, if you are going to come in or you are into my broadcast or you would watch it in the course of time, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Now, we are a community that is building on the foundation of love and respect. So I would appreciate if we can have that spirit of unity, love and respect for one another. It will help us. And one of the ways to show that you applaud a person is by giving a thumbs up. Let there be social proof. Let it be that after 100 people views your video, 99 gives you a thumbs up. Now, if you have this attitude of gratitude and you show love and you appreciate the efforts of people, it's going to also ripple out in your own life. So let's build up that attitude. Okay. Now, on that said, I'll share my screen, say a few things in our Kringle Cash, say a few things in one or two things concerning the Kringle Cash, and then we put the video, we watch the video together. Listen, I am not sure that the entire system will remain in the next 1 year, because Wells Fargo, if you are up to date, that's one of the big institutions that has started giving red alerts that the system is caving in. If 2, 3, 4 banks begin to do that, what do you think will happen to the rest of the system? Well, your guess is as good as mine. So I will share my screen and then we'll discuss. All right, I think screen being shared. Now, looking at our Kringle Cash, this is our Kringle Cash. This is our numbers. One thing that we are not taking note of. Do well to take note of this number. Now, also take note of this, because these coins are really going down and they are going down fast. And that reminds me, today is Monday, okay? And there are 3 major meetings that will happen today. The first one, African time. And if you would want to be a part of the broadcasters meeting, under meeting section, you'll see the broadcasters meeting. Following that meeting will be our weekly meetings. Now, there are different kinds of weekly meetings. There is the English version, there is the French version, and then every other version, whichever one that appeals to you. Now, we're also going to build this our meeting section to accommodate other languages, and we are going to continue to expand. Now, by the time we're 1 billion, this will be filled out with different kinds of languages, including Japan, including Chinese. We are going to win those places, but we don't really know if they would come in as billionaires or as millionaires. But those guys are really, really smart sets of people. They are very, very, very lucrative. They know how to build. So if their system is blocking them from interacting with us, well, maybe they would come in when we are billionaires and when the billionaire level has been filled out. Well, it's okay. That's fine. Now, the promo is still on, and we have 122 of 1,000. So I think your opportunity is still there. If this promo goes, that's it. Now, I think that will be all. We talked about this yesterday, and I believe if you have not yet downloaded the app, do well to download the app. Now, there is something I want to talk about. It's very brief before we watch this video, because after the video, that will be all. The first thing is that TBC has come to stay, and we are becoming more and more organized. We are becoming more and more formidable. And it will take some time for people to know. But the question is, when they know about it, where will they belong? I'm doing the part I can to make sure that I am able to gather enough resources now that people still hasn't known much about it. And the promo is still going to remain until we have brought the admin wallet to 500 million. And in this promo, the secret behind it, I have said it before, is in letting your voice to be heard. And that gives you power to express your mind and for humanity to see things from the right perspective. So if you look at the food subsidy centers that we're setting up, there was something. It's very similar to the logo of Apple. If both of them are Apple. The first apple is a red apple. The other apple that we know, which is the Apple tech company, is a beaten apple. And it's an esoteric language. Your logo speaks volumes. Now, we always do say that we want to return the world back to how it was. From Genesis, we want to bring heaven down on earth, because at some point when the Lord created the world, he said everything is good, meaning that at that point, heaven was down on earth with us. And we had the innocence spirit. We knew nothing. Now we became aware when we bit into the apple, and that's a symbol of the apple. Come to think about it, Apple are taking part in major tech things, and they're actually systems that are built to enslave you. But you don't know. And they are expanding their tentacles and they are expanding their branches so that you will be able to play along with their terms that says you own nothing and you'll be happy in by the year 2020, 2030. So when you look at this, we have a very symbolic goal. And our goal is setting up food subsidy centers across the world. We want to return the world to that system of innocence. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure that there is an abundant systems for all. When you look at that apple that was put forth by the administration, it is trying to say we want to bring the world back to how it was originally by our creator. And we can achieve it if only we can believe and then unite and pay the necessary sacrifice or pay the necessary price to obtain that dream. Because at this point it looks like it's a dream, but that dream will be actualized very soon. So let's unite and let this United for Food be a reality, become a reality. Time won't permit me to go into our merchant app or our United for Food app. But when you look at it, we are growing and we are growing fast. At this point now, we have over 3,000 people from different countries, and we are getting more organized. India is taking the lead. Now, Ivory Coast will soon follow. Nigeria would also come in. Ghana will follow. Cameroon will follow. And other countries following. Bangladesh would not be left out either. So we are actually getting organized and building this momentum. The thing now is, at some point, TBC will be used at 100%. Now, it's not in a so distant time from now, because the elites will realize that there is some force which is of God that is subduing their system. Humanity will also realize that they've been deceived, and they would decide to voluntarily opt out of the elite system. Now, you can bank on us. You can trust in us, because we will help you to preserve your wealth. And it doesn't cost you anything other than making a commitment on a yearly basis. It's your choice on how you want to go about it. One thing is certain: as you allow every blessed day to go by, well, you are missing out of what you are supposed to gain. Now, choose billionaire, millionaire. Choose monthly, yearly. It's based on what level of commitment you make that you are given a reward. You can bank on us, you can trust us, because we have chosen to help you. We have chosen to preserve your humanity. Because I've been watching films. When I was much younger, they did tell me that watching films are for idle people. And I actually bought into that idea. But lately, I found out that if you want to become very informed, start watching films, majorly Hollywood movies. because these people are actually telling you what they are going to do. Most of the films I've been watching, microchips in your body, microchips for monitoring, microchips in the back of your head, microchips at your forehead. I am not exaggerating it. They are telling you by 2030 you will own nothing and you'll be happy. They would monitor all of your activity. It's also similar to what they are doing, the vaccinations. And they are doing it, and people are foolishly going along with it. Wake up if you are sleeping. In our system, it will look like that of the elites, but we are not of the elites. There is nothing that would involve any form of chip in your body. That's our system. Our system is based on abundance. Our system is based on love and respect, mutual love and respect for you and I, for humanity at large. Theirs is different. Theirs is dividing and dividing, dividing and conquering. That's what they are doing. So you will choose where to belong to. And every day I keep saying these things, I keep announcing these things, I keep saying it like I am short of words to say. No, there is a reason I am saying it. Repetition is for emphasis. When you look at how the elites do their things using their media, every station over the past 1.5 years has been consistently talking about COVID-19. They've been talking about it again and again and again and again and again, and then they've enshrined it in your mind, and that it can kill and all that and all that. But we are telling you the other way. And if you are able to keep, let's just play this video and listen to what this guy has to say. And then after that, that'll be all for now. It is this particular one. This is a very sensitive video. Do well to listen.
Introducing SpeechAlone, the most natural sounding text-to-speech software on the market. Hey.
Right, when the 2008 bubble popped, we had the worst crisis since the Great Depression. This crisis will be worse than the Great Depression, much worse. And unlike the Great Depression, when we were still on a gold standard, money actually gained value. So if you weren't in the stock market, if you weren't in the real estate market, you gained purchasing power. Assets got cheaper for you. The cost of living went down. Americans are not going to be that lucky this time. Everyone's going to get wiped out. People who don't have any money invested in the stock market are going to get wiped out because the dollar is going to get wiped out. We should have had a U.S. currency crisis years ago. When I wrote my book, Crash Proof, back in 2005 and 6, and it came out in 07, and when I was going to the money shows back then, warning about the housing bubble that the Fed had inflated and about the financial crisis that was going to hit when that bubble popped, and the worst recession that we were going to get since the Depression, 10% unemployment, $1 trillion deficits, the bankruptcy of Fannie and Freddie, everything that happened in 08, I was warning about for many, many years before 08. But what I expected to happen as a result of 08, I knew that the government would double down on its failed policy. I knew the Fed would slash rates. I knew they would start printing money again, and they would try to reflate the bubbles. My feeling at the time was that they would fail in their attempts to reflate the bubbles, and instead the dollar would succumb to these mistakes, and we would have a big drop in the dollar, and that would, relapse into a worse crisis. What I got wrong is that the world actually was fooled by our monetary magic, and the Fed was able to succeed where I thought they would fail. They did reflate a bigger bubble than the one that popped in 2008, but they're not going to be able to repeat the trick again. It is impossible to reflate a bubble bigger than the one that just popped. And so this is it. It's not 3 strikes or third time's the charm for the Fed because they bubble pop. It's going to be 3 strikes and you're out if you are still in the dollar. The myth is that the U.S. economy was strong before COVID. It wasn't strong at all. It was the weakest it had ever been. It was the biggest bubble that had ever existed. That is why the economy imploded so quickly as a result of the COVID-19 lockdowns, right? Because we were so vulnerable. We had nothing saved for a rainy day. And it didn't just rain, it poured. And the air started to come out of this everything bubble in the fourth quarter of 2018. So we were already going to have this crisis. COVID just accelerated and is making it worse. But it was already inevitable. The air started coming out. The markets imploded in the fourth quarter of 2018. And the Federal Reserve, as I forecast at many money shows and on television, the Fed aborted its feigned attempt to normalize interest rates and shrink its balance sheet, something that I said from the beginning could never happen. And one of the only people that made that forecast. The Fed reversed course and began cutting rates in early 2019, and they went back to quantitative easing. Now, they didn't officially admit it was quantitative easing. They lied about what they were doing, but it was quantitative easing. Well, since then, since COVID, they've dropped the precedent, the pretense. They now admit that they're doing QE. In fact, they admit that it's QE infinity, which again is another forecast that I got right. Long before QE4 started, even before we ended QE3, I said QE4 would be bigger than QE1, 2, and 3 combined. And that prediction has already come true because the Fed has already done more quantitative easing since COVID than in all of the years following the 2008 financial crisis. And the scale of money printing is unprecedented. The deficits are through the roof. We're running now $3-4 trillion deficits. The government is spending more money than ever before, where most of it is being conjured into existence by the Federal Reserve. The U.S. government is now spending more than 60 cents, or more than 60 cents out of every dollar that the U.S. government is spending is being printed. So the Federal Reserve is printing more money for the government to spend than the U.S. government is collecting in taxes. Now, you have to realize that that doesn't mean that all of this government is free, that we've dramatically increased government, right? Donald Trump has increased the size of government more than any prior president. I mean, forget about Roosevelt or Lyndon Johnson. Trump is the biggest spender of all time, the biggest borrower of all time, and therefore he is the biggest taxer of all time. Because every dime the U.S. government spends is a dime of taxes, whether they want to be honest about it or not, because government spending isn't free, right? It's paid for by Americans one way or another. And if Trump and Congress don't have the guts to be honest with the American public and give them an actual bill for this unprecedented spending orgy, right? They're just going to have the Fed print up the money. That doesn't mean we escape the bill. It just means we pay the tax through a different mechanism. And that mechanism is called inflation. And in fact, I just put up a video on Twitter and my Instagram page yesterday of Warren Buffett last year correctly defining inflation as a tax. It is an expansion of the money supply. Buffett said it's the cruelest tax of all, that fewer than 1 in a million even understand, which is true, and that's by design. The government has led a propaganda effort to confuse people as to what inflation is, but it's an expansion of the money supply. It is a tax. It is a tax on savers, on people that own dollars. So there's two ways the government can pay for its spending. It can collect taxes legitimately by taking your money, or it can do it illegitimately by taking your purchasing power. So let's say the government takes your money. They take money from you and they give it to somebody else. Now somebody else can spend it and you can't, right? You see that loss of purchasing power because money is actually taken away from you. But the other way they do it surreptitiously is they don't take anything away from you. They just print money up out of thin air and they give that money to somebody else. And now that somebody else spends something. But the amount of goods and services to buy hasn't expanded. The government doesn't print purchasing power. It just prints claims to the existing production supply of goods and services. So what happens is the people who get the new money go out and spend it, and that bids up price. Less money, but because your money is less valuable and prices go up. So we are about to experience in America inflation on an unprecedented scale in this country. We're going to see the cost of living skyrocket, and it's going to happen very, very quickly. It's going to hit people like a ton of bricks, and they're not going to see this coming. Right? More people are going to be blindsided by the dollar crisis than by the financial crisis. And the dollar crisis is much worse than a financial crisis, because when we had the financial crisis, the Fed was able to print dollars to bail everybody out. Well, when you have a dollar crisis, that doesn't matter anymore.
All right. I believe the information has been passed across effectively. So the bottom line I'm actually driving at is this. TBC, people may not see it yet, but the truth is that systems will fail, okay? The financial system will fail. Now, the coin market cap will be unreliable. It wouldn't fail like the fiat system, but it will be unreliable. Now, it will be so volatile that you can't trust what it will be tomorrow. But TBC is measured in grains of gold, and we have what we call credible years of proof in gold. So gold will remain long term. And I want us to see it from that perspective. Do your part and amass enough TBC coins now on the billionaire level. Because at some point, people had over 100,000 Bitcoin. When Bitcoin didn't worth much, most of them lost their key. Most of them lost their account details. It's happening again. And the unfortunate thing is that many people in our TBC community are going to fold their hands and wait. And you can't fold your hands and wait. Instead, you will lose what you already have acquired over time. So you must keep doing something. Billionaire, millionaire, you have to keep working forever. You are going to work in either the fiat system to promote its existence, or in the coin market, in our TBC system to promote its existence, or coin market cap system. It's a commitment that you have to make for the rest of our life. I just came to realize that human beings has this difficulty of making commitments, and that's the unfortunate reason why relationships are breaking apart, because difficult times will come either from the side of the man or the woman. You don't run away from those such kind of things. If you are running away from it, then that means you are saying you are not man enough. That's what it means. Because difficult times must come. But when you have told yourself that come what may, I would overcome these times. Becoming a billionaire and becoming a global influencer has to come at a price. You have to decide it within your heart. You don't just come and watch my videos because you are enjoying it. Yeah, the guy gives good content. It's not about good content, because this content I'm giving will either justify you, or you would keep regretting the mistakes you made by listening and you didn't make any effort. Do the part you can, and I hope God will help you. All right, so far so good. A few people came into my broadcast, of which one person made a statement, and I must thank you, brother Alade. I appreciate your the statement you made. I do appreciate. God bless you. I will stop here. Remember, we'll be having a meeting 2 p.m. West African time, broadcasters meeting, and 3 p.m. our normal meeting, and then 4 p.m. our main mass adoption meeting. Commitment is what matters. Do what you can, and at the end, it's not so long from now. You would reward, you'll be given the reward for the effort you've made. So thank you very much. Till I come your way again, remember, thumbs up matters a whole lot. If you do that, it means social proof. Cheers, and do have a wonderful day. God bless you.